I didn't have toys growing up, but now I have collected over 400 collectibles, 247 art toys, 42 vinyls, hundreds of art prints, original art pieces, 4 cats, and this. Hi, my name is Wee. I'm a game animator, and this is how I made my million. My first drawing or being inspired to draw was from my dad. So we used to have this Power Ranger toy. I remember my dad used to draw one part of the robot, and when I saw it, I'm like, whoa, wow, how can you draw this thing on A4 paper? And I think ever since then, I really like to draw. My first job was with a local animation company. I started with 1,800 ringgit, and when I left the company, it was at 7,000 ringgit. So mostly my job, it was a concept artist slash animator. Eventually, when the company was growing, we worked on games from Microsoft, PlayStation, for Xbox, for PC. I really enjoyed that part because I used to play the games and now I'm working on them. So for the first 5 years of my career, I was mostly just working paycheck to paycheck and saving as much as I can. And that's when I realized that saving helps, but it doesn't get you anywhere. So to figure out how to make more money, I got targeted by those kind of ads, right? Like how to make more money through investments and stuff like that. So I invested, I think, over 20,000 ringgit in courses. I really took some risks and bought my first property. Property is not as passive as I thought. It came with a lot of late nights when, like, example, tenants couldn't find their keys. I have to drive all the way from like 30 minutes in the midnight just to open the doors for them. So it was pretty crazy, and that's when I realized I have to find another way to increase my net worth. Welcome to my creative space, where I collect all kinds of stuff that I love. Mostly it's art. This one from Thailand, talented bronze artist. And this one is from Aris. I have quite a few of his pieces. I really like his stuff. Amazing artist, mural artist. You can find his work in Tokyo, Spain, different kinds of art. And this one is an Australian artist. This is Jacko. Jack! Yeah. And this is where I do most of my work. And yeah, I have a problem, as you can see. A lot of these are from local artists that I really like. My friends, some of them are my friends, some are people that I respect. I try to give back in my own way. As a creative, I do enjoy supporting other artists, and yeah. Funnily enough, after I've invested in property, I focused back on my love for art. I noticed that there was an opportunity where I could reach out to international clients. So that's when I started my own studio, and then I started working with international clients, and I think that was the first major success in terms of my financial journey. So I was servicing the same client, and then eventually they trusted me more and more, so they wanted me to help produce this game and provide assets. So making a game, you require a lot of different talents. Just like making a movie, right? You need a sound guy, you need somebody who does the animation, somebody who does the model, the actors. At first, I was really afraid on taking on that project.
Is that right?
Actually, kind of like a one-man team with a lot of contract artists. And I asked myself, would I regret if I didn't take this opportunity? And in the end, I said yes, and I went ahead. So that was the biggest project challenge that I've ever done. I think in total, I made about 1 million ringgit.
Full throttle action, check. Emotional narrative, check. Cutscenes, check, baby.
While I was working in my full-time job as an animation director, was paying me about 8,800 ringgit. My freelance was paying me about, in total, close to 12,000 USD. So I think at the peak, me as a person alone making close to 50 to 60,000 ringgit. I shut down my studio right after because of the burnout. I didn't really much have a life. The hours all blended together. I don't know when I woke up. I don't know when I slept. I just waked up, looked at my phone, checked if the client needed something, checked into my team 24/7. It didn't do well for me mentally, but financially it was good. That had me questioning myself, is this what I want? Back in the days when I don't have too much money, I used to eat fun a lot. So let me tell you a little trick. I usually find the ones that have meat and vegetables and they count as one vegetable. That's how you save. This one has the egg and also the meat, but they count it as one, so you can save. And then choose the one with a lot of sauce. So something that has more sauce, then I can reuse it later. So normally I don't take too much rice, so they look at it and they say, oh, it's not too much vegetables. And then I'll split it with my oats and then I'll mix it together so I can have 2 meals. So after I shut down company, I had about a million ringgit. I think this is the first time in my life I had the opportunity to actually just stop and think, what do I really want to do besides chasing money? Just before I could figure out anything, my friend reached out to me and he asked me if I wanted to work on a NFT project. And that's when I thought to myself, hey, why not give it a shot? And then that is my second journey. This is where I do most of my work. When I was doing freelance and doing animation. Back then I had a 1-bedroom apartment kind of situation, and now I have a office at least. And this is where I do a lot of my arts. Sometimes I paint, and sometimes I do sketch stuff. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess, but I like it. I like to keep it a bit more messy. I do have a lot of other frames that I have not hanged up yet. This is from an Indonesian artist. This is from a Thai artist. Yeah, and I collect a lot of toys. Some of them since I was in college. I saved up on a lot of things, but I do spend on toy when I started working. And yeah, here's some sort of different type of collections. This one is Astro Boy, and this is from Michael Chua, a local artist. Different things that I love, trinkets, and now I know what it feels like to be, you know, those old auntie and uncles. They have things where they collect when they travel. So this is mine. I needed a bit of time to adapt from being a super frugal person to learning to, okay, maybe I could afford to go for trips. Maybe I can afford to not drive my beat up Saga and afford a car. Of course, the first thing that I promised myself that once I earned my first pot of gold was to bring my family for a trip. So I was very glad I was able to do that. Right now, spend comfortably with buying things that I like, such as art and food. Now I can order stuff from the menu and don't feel guilty about it. So I think that was the best takeaway from all the hard work. So right now I'm working with my business partner to build this IP called Bichimao, and the core intention is to write out stories that resonate with people. Despite going through all this and have a decent sum of savings, I feel that now that it's important to me as an artist that money isn't everything. To be honest, I'm still looking for the answer. And at least now I know, even hitting it big with a huge sum of cash, it doesn't really mean everything to me. And I am trying to go back to where it all started from. I just want to be a creative and be known for my creative vision.